Greetings in the love and light of the infinite creator. I'm Andrii Zvorygin, joined here with Bill, Grace, Ed, and Michelle. And we will be continuing the 2025-1025 session, and it's going to be about spiritual guides. And then we'll probably read the next session from November. And we'll discuss it as well. Okay. I guess I will start. I have a question about guides, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that we each walk with some guides that follow us. I wonder if these guides are the same through each incarnation, or do they vary? And I wonder if, when we transition to the next level and or the next density, do the same guides walk with us, or do we have new guides? Bill?
We are those of Quo, and thank you for this question, our sister. You may find analog to the insight which you seek on this question by considering the movement of your own social experience. During your journey from infancy to maturity and over the course of your incarnations, past and to come, there are those in concentric orbits of association, including your core soul group with whom you will weave in and out of incarnation after incarnation, learning together, catalyzing each other, dancing in various roles of harmony and disharmony, of responsibility and power, and so forth. And outward, these groupings move with overlap between various groupings according to the needs of your evolutionary state. You will attract or be attracted by new soulmates and old soulmates according to their vibratory state and their needs of learning, and, shall we say, the speed of their acceleration or deceleration upon their own journey will move them away, shall we say, from less close association. So too on the inner planes are there these mechanisms and bands of need and attraction that bring you to a guide which may have limited purpose and time for your life. Perhaps they are there to help with one specific catalyst or a need or lesson. Alongside of you are also those guides who are with you, as you may say, for the long haul. Those who walk with you arm in arm and know the fullness of your being and the burdens you have carried, the sorrows you have suffered, the triumphs and joys that have been yours, and who have a greater grasp of the intricacies of your own web of connections with other souls and the ever-living shifting dynamics of interrelationship. Guides, in short, may come and go as people may come and go in the space-time manifest experience. Some core teachers staying for the entirety of your journey, some for limited purpose. And depending upon the need of the entity and the nature of the guide, they may indeed cross boundaries of densities, or shall we say, be available to you upon another density. But also, as you take that quantum leap forward into a new band of reality and experience, new hosts of those seeking to be of service will also be available to you. For the universe is brimming with those seeking to be of help, those with their ears to the railroad, we may say, listening for that vibration of the call of service. Those magnetized to the needs of the entity, be that articulated vocally with intention and prayer, or by the vibratory state of their suffering and seeking. And we may close by adding that you, too, even in your space-time form, are part of this nature as you are guides to one another. May we ask if there's another query?
No, thank you. It's much appreciated. All right. What do you guys think? So basically, guides kind of, they may circle around and then come and go, kind of depending on your vibration. That's what I got.
And some may be specific for a specific need. And then we act as each other's guides. We have our soul groups. And, and I think in our soul groups, we play roles. Like one role, we might be a real bastard, somebody that hurts other people. And then you turn that around and you're the one getting hurt. or one time you're in power and the other guys, and then the next incarnation you're not in power. So um, yeah, it's and we got guides and helpers and all this at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. Anyone else have something they want to share on that? Okay. Hey, Ray, how are you doing?
Okay, I just got home.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, we're just reading this on do the same guides walk with us across densities and lifetimes? Spiritual companions form concentric circles of closeness that change with growth. There are those in concentric orbits of association moving with overlap according to the needs of your evolutionary state. I think that's a good summary. Some guides stay for the long journey. Certain guides know your full story and remain aligned through many phases. Those guides who are with you for the long haul know the fullness of your being. Yeah. Like I got like a primary guide, you Isabella. Others come for specific lessons. Temporary guides assist with particular catalysts or needs. A guide may have limited purpose and time for your life. A temporary guide
Okay,
assists with
I
particular
got a
catalysts
couple
or
of
needs.
minutes.
Go ahead, Ed.
Hello, guys. Sorry, I was in an Uber, so I couldn't really talk previously. Hello.
Mhm.
I really like this passage. I thought this was a really good one because I think it kind of shows us kind of the plethora of different energies we've got at our disposal,
Mhm.
ranging from ones that just turn up here and there to do little bits, big ones that we can call in to help us do things properly, and ones that are going to be there for a little bit to kind of teach us a skill and then move on, and other ones that are going to be like there day in, day out, watching over your shoulder every single thing you do. So from my own experience, I've had I followed like Elias Levi's ritualistic stuff, and he said that everyone has three angels that kind of form this kind of triangle around you, protecting you. Kind of call it like the outer edge of your Macabre or something, and and they're like the ones that are with you all of the time, non-stop. It's like you are a team. You just don't know they're there. And then you'll have these other energies that are either going to teach you specific things or do specific tasks that can come and go. And then, obviously, one thing they said, most important things is our other selves. All of us, we are just as much guides as any angel or alien. Yes, I think that sums it up. Love you guys. Hello, so happy I'm here. Sorry I was late.
The only thing I might add to that is, from what I understand, I don't know if this is correct or not, but I had heard that the three angels that are protecting you, one's a male, one's a female, and the other one's androgynous.
Oh yes, yes. The Confederation did mention that. You got your choice, and I think that's what Ed was saying. The three of them.
Yeah, so my ones, I've got one that kind of looks, well, I'm not sure whether it's a boy or a girl. It could be androgynous, or it could be a girl, but it looks like a child, like really the most unbelievably, adorably cute child you've ever seen in your life. Like glowing blonde hair, looks like a halo, little kind of white kind of dress thing. And then there's one that's like basically this 8 foot tall fucking, looks like a Templar Knight, Thundercat. I don't know. It's like a Panthro worked for the Vatican. And then the other one is basically just like this spinning ball that is made like the most horrific, like, I don't know, like the sound made my teeth, my whole brain buzz. Like it was like I couldn't even look at it. It was just chaos, a little spinning ball. So yeah, I don't know what the sex of the spinning ball ones are. But yeah,
I thought that was supposed to be you. The spinning ball.
maybe, dude, maybe. I mean, it didn't look.
That was your higher self.
Time.
At least that's how you referred to it as before.
Well, that's it. Well, generally, when I separate out to my higher self, yeah, because I've had some weird experiences with that personified. So I just like imagine my Macabre, my light body, spinning in opposite directions. So you've got one spinning one way, one spinning the other, and then I see them separating out, and that gives you the masculine and feminine high
Mhm.
self that Carla talks about.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, love you guys.
And
So chatting some nonsense, but I miss you. Yay.
all good. May have limited. Okay, yeah. So that's the temporary guides who come for a particular purpose. Guides may cross incarnations and densities. They may indeed cross boundaries of densities, be available to you upon another density. So yes, I think that this might work multiple ways. That you could be in another density and still access them, but also that they may cross into another density and then still access you. Like for instance, I remember my spirit guide at some point. She basically went from fifth to sixth density. Um, and so kind of like that changed her color from like a light blue to a darker blue. So that was kind
That's
of
so
interesting.
weird. That's so weird. Because I've seen Gink, my
Uh-huh.
little like pet
Yeah.
fox thing. I've
Yeah.
seen him at different densities, and
Oh, okay.
depending on like what density is him, is how big he is, and like all the red bits that are normally like red, kind of fox coloured, they go to this like glowing pink, like it's like glowing bright pink. He looks like a Super Saiyan fox. But then he's got like a little spinning thing on his forehead that moves around, and the kind of
Cool.
higher density is, the more like perfect the little geometric patterns are. It's really fucking cool.
Nice.
How did you see them?
Only meditation, but it's like I generally bring Gink along, like most of the time when I do things. But how he looks is a lot of time up to him. It's weird. Like sometimes he'll be really cute little tiny fox and just like going around my feet and that. Other times I'll be able to ride on his back. Do you know what I mean? It's like he decides. It's weird.
Cool. New helpers appear as awareness grows. As you take the quantum leap forward, new hosts of those seeking to be of service will also be available to you. Yeah, I find that's true. Like depending on what you're working on, different spiritual entities will match vibration and then be able to help you with that task. Guidance responds to vibration and calling. Help arrives through intention, prayer, and sincere seeking. Those magnetized to the needs of the entity by intention and prayer or by the vibratory state of their suffering and seeking. Go ahead, Ed.
I was gonna say in one of our little channeling things, yeah, they said something I thought was interesting. It was something along the lines of, we react in response to a specific calling. So, if you put in the specific calling to receive what's it all called, conditioning, then that's what they'll do. If you receive it for vocal challenging, or you receive it, or you ask them for intuition or whatever, the calling that you give is how they'll respond. So that would basically be the same thing, right? You're magnetizing yourself to putting your intention out, and then the entities that you need respond.
Nice. Yep. And okay, so seekers guide one another. Everyday presence and care carry guiding power. You too are guides to one another. Very good. Very good. All right. And next, yes, cool. We have one sent from a seeker named E, who writes, I'm aware that dreams are fertile ground for growth and work in consciousness, but I struggle to know what I am to learn or gain from them. I feel any of the guesses are just that, wild guesses. Occasionally, things are obvious and profound enough that I think I get it. But the vast majority I just recall in the storyline and events and feelings and so on, and go on with my day. I feel I'm missing a lot of learning and that everything just goes over my head. Maybe I need to put in more effort to find repeating elements. Maybe I need to spend more time in meditation, pondering how can I use dreams more effectively for spiritual growth. Phil?
I am cool and aware of the query, my brother. The concept of dreams is that which we feel each has some grasp of. For the dreaming is usually a kind of message for your subconscious mind or your guides that suggest you move in a certain direction. If you can perceive that you have alerted the subconscious mind that you want to work with your dreams, you must be in harmony with your subconscious mind so that your dreams become more available in a way that shows you some part of you in a way that repeats. If you would keep a dream journal so that you record your dreams as soon as you have them, then later look at that journal and use your intuition or meditation or contemplation to find the images that are moving through your life pattern at that time. Your subconscious mind is aware of your preincarnative choices and will bias your perception of your dreams in the way you have preincarnatively chosen to learn certain lessons. If you can keep that contact with your subconscious mind continuous, this is a process that will reveal to you why you are here, what you were meant to learn, those other entities within your life pattern who play a role in what you are here to learn. This process of working with dreams is a process of living a dream within the dream of third density and making progress in understanding how you are a many faceted jewel that will be coming back to meet yourself in greater forms and feelings and thoughts in a way that you can understand more of how you are the dream. And right at this time, we would thank each of the seekers of truth within the circle for sharing
Oh,
your
I
life.
see. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. All right. We'll
that's the
just
closing.
that's the closing. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that before about having a dream journal. What they didn't mention though was you have to really to effectively do it. I think is you have to do it right when you wake up because that's when the dreams are most fresh.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, yeah. If you want to write down your dreams, I know most dreams they kind of fall away and I forget about them, but sometimes they have like a strong emotional element. Like I remember this one I had like last week where there was uh like a disabled boy or something. He was like a black disabled boy who was also an AI or something. Um, and then me and this girl, we were just like taking care of him. And, he wasn't too bright, but, we kind of had a relationship and stuff like that. And then like some people showed up that were like, oh, yeah, we can use this or whatever. And then like we were like talking to this guy and he was like, oh, yeah, if you like press it on its like shoulder or whatever like this, then they feel comfortable. And like that was just like how I was leaning on the guy, because like I guess this is how I would lean on this, like I'd hold them by the shoulder when I was talking to them. And then anyways, and then we were like talking to this like caretaker or whatever. And then the girl was like, oh, I can't take this screaming or like crying or whatever. And then I went to like another room and they had what do you call it, they had like the child robot with and they were forcing it like, and they had like paint on its eyes. um and it was crying. And then that was just like, I was like, what are you guys doing? He's crying because you put paint on his eyes. And they were just like looking at me like, and then I woke up. So yeah, I think that's kind of like a dream of like working on an AI, and then like someone else might use it for a different purpose and might not be nice to it. But yeah, so some dreams can be hard sometimes. Anyhow, I don't know if okay. Dreams communicate direction. Dreams suggest movement towards growth and understanding. The dreaming is usually a kind of message from your subconscious mind to your guides that suggests you move in a certain direction. Harmony with the subconscious increases clarity. If you have alerted the subconscious mind that you want to work with your dreams, you must be in harmony with your subconscious mind. Repetition reveals meaning. The dreams become more available in a way that shows you some part of you in a way that repeats. Patterns of recurring images. Okay. Dream journaling supports insights. If you would keep a dream journal, then later look at that journal and use your intuition or meditation or contemplation. Lessons chosen before incarnation shape dream symbolism. Your subconscious mind is aware of your preincarnative choices and will bias your perception of your dreams. Yes. Dream work reveals life purpose and relationships. The process will reveal to you why you are here, what you are meant to learn, and those other entities within your life pattern. Yeah, like most of my dreams are more like work dreams of, what I should do next. And kind of me dreaming, continuing my computer programming or whatever, and that kind of stuff.
That's funny, Andrii, because that's how my dreams. I was like a flooring installer, and I mostly laid carpet for 22 years, and I haven't even done it in like 15 years. But most of my dreams are about that.
Oh, really? About installing carpets?
So I don't know, or every now and then I have a dream about friends or whatever. But so I don't know. It's like telling me, hey, you got a lot of catalyst from that nightmare job you had.
Oh, it was like a nightmare job. Oh, you didn't like it?
Oh yeah, laying floors. Oh, it's horrible. Don't do it.
Don't do it, eh? Okay.
Not every day for years.
I thought maybe you were enjoying it. No, guess not.
Oh no.
All right, because some people love that stuff.
Well,
there's YouTube videos of people just enjoying working.
Well, usually they haven't worked at it for decades.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess you get sick of it after a while.
Well, your body gets torn apart.
I was just going to say it's hard on the body. Yeah.
It's hard on your body? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently gardening was hard on my body. Remember my shoulder thing?
And you weren't even doing it full time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of have to do it full time during the spring and summer.
So just imagine if you were a laborer.
Oh yeah, and you're doing it all year round. Wow.
Yeah, that's picking stuff in the fields every day.
I would have been forced to take 3 or 4 months off, because of my arm. Because really, I couldn't do anything. Yeah, it's a lot better now, which is good. Praise the Lord. All right, so living as the dreamer and the dream. The dream work deepens awareness of the self as a multifaceted being. This is a process of living a dream within the dream of third density, understanding how you are the dream. Yes. Fair enough.
Ra tells us from the start, and number one, that we are a thought. Mm-hmm. Do you know you guys are just a thought?
Fair enough.
First thing Ra tells us.
It's true. We all started out as thoughts, and then grew over time.
What makes you think you're still not a thought?
I mean, we're just more complicated thoughts now.
There you go.
With bodies and stuff.
You're aware that you're a thought.
Yes. So next session, we're reading Balancing Love and Wisdom, Turning the Other Cheek, Spiritual Dimensions of Hawking Radiation, 3-Eye Atlas and its Implications. Oh, Ed will love this. Mission of Service Through Paranormal and Experiences, Seeker Support. Nature of Humility. We probably won't get to all of that. Okay. Okay. Go. This is probably an intro. Okay. Yes. Kuo I have a question. In these times of turmoil, how can we consciously balance the distortions of love and wisdom so that we progress more harmoniously upon the path of service to others? Bill?
I'm cool and am aware of your query, my sister. You ask a question which I am sure many in this group and many around the world who are spiritual seekers would also ask. As you look at the turmoil in the world around you, whether it is in your neighborhood, your larger family, school, work, politics, military, at any level of existence, that turmoil can provide you catalysts that may seem difficult to process. But catalyst in being difficult to process requires that you change some form of your being. Perhaps you are not able to accept those who are causing the turmoil, and yet they are the creator too. Boy, that's a difficult one. They are given they are giving you a chance to grow, and by growing we mean loving them as the creator, looking past the third density illusion of seeing them as separate from anyone else. This is the path that each of you travels in the third definite. This is the path that each of you travels in the third density. There will be one form of turmoil or another in your spiritual path, very, very frequently, for this is the third density with the veil of forgetting, which you must pass through and forget that all is one. By that forgetting, then you get catalyst that helps you grow and remember more by balancing the difficulties with your love, the anger with your love, the division with your love. Your love is the creator's love flowing through you, and it is powerful, and it is a powerful love when you direct it with your free will.
All right. So Fred just joined us,
All right,
and he's
Fred.
the leader of the Catalyst group. So I was wondering if you wanted to chip in on this. Fred, are you able to speak?
I'm actually just started eating, but
Oh,
couldn't a minute.
okay. All right. Someone else wanna?
Just run your, if nobody has comment, just run your AI.
Okay. Yeah. I will. Yeah, I was thinking in the future because I'm working on this agent right now. And I was thinking in the future I could get an agent to create a session that is pertinent to current topics that YouTube people are interested in, and like compile us a session from previous sessions on dealing with the catalyst.
That sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. But yeah, I've got all these ideas, but
I think that can be done for a number of subjects that where they have multitudes of uh, uh, multitudes of subjects that are overlapping.
mm-hmm. Yeah. They cover like pretty much everything that can be covered. So it's cool that way. So Kuo addresses how seekers may balance love and wisdom amid social, personal, and global turmoil. Turbulent conditions serve as catalyst that presses the self toward inner change. Growth arises through recognizing all involved as the creator, even when reactions of anger, fear, or rejection appear. By consciously choosing love within difficult moments, seekers rebalance distortion and move more harmoniously along the path of service to others. Turmoil functions as catalyst for growth. Difficulty presses the self toward transformation. That turmoil can provide you catalysts that may seem difficult to process, requires that you change some form of your being. Mm-hmm.
And usually when they say that, what really you're changing is your perception.
Yes. And I know like this can be difficult for some people because some people, they want it to be the other way around, right? So if they are more leaning towards the service to self side, instead of changing some form of their own being, they want other people to change to accommodate them.
Well, they want to control their behavior,
They want to control the behaviors of others, exactly, instead of having
which
to
is
change themselves.
which is the characteristic of the
Service to self side.
yes.
Exactly. Like a certain someone that likes to bully people to try to get them. Bully countries. Anyways, Catalyst reveals opportunities to remember unity. Turmoil exposes the illusion of separation within third density. This is the third density within the veil of forgetting, which you must pass through and forget that all is one. I know. Like once you regain the understanding that all is one, things become so much easier. Those causing turmoil remain the creator. Acceptance becomes a central balancing practice. Perhaps you're not able to accept those who are causing the turmoil, and yet they are the creator too. Yeah. Love balances anger, division, and difficulty. Conscious love harmonizes inner distortion, balancing the difficulties with your love, the anger with your love, the division with your love. This reminds me of this morning where my wife was upset at me for being right all the time. And she's like, "Why are you right all the time?" She was just, she was very upset.
You better knock it off.
Yeah. And well, she felt that she wasn't making much of a contribution because, well,
Yeah, you got to let other people serve, or you got to allow yourself to be served.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know, something like that. But anyways, I don't know. I see the creator, and I was like, I know she's having a hard time, and I love her, and so just kind of was peaceful throughout it.
So let her love you back.
Yeah. So growth arises through loving beyond appearances. Wisdom guides perception beyond surface behavior. Looking past the third density illusion of seeing them as separate. Love flows through free will. Love gains potency when intentionally directed. Your love is the Creator's love flowing through you, powerful when you direct it with your free will. Service to others begins within response. Harmonious progress depends on inner balance rather than outer conditions. They are giving you a chance to grow, and by growing, we mean loving them as the creator. All right. Anyone have anything they wanted to share on that? Oh. Hey. Okay. Hey, I have to go temporarily, guys. Can you chat for a bit? I'll be back.
You're allowing us to chat unsupervised?
We need Ed.
Yeah, where is Ed?
I'm here. Hello.
Ed.
Ta-da! Ed, say
Fred.
Sorry, I'm just having some kind of a minor catalyst with a friend of mine. I do hate delusional people that just won't take responsibility, but prefer to smash up the whole world with their pathetic little fucking narrative than actually just be honest with themselves and be honest with other people and actually do the right thing. It really, really annoys me. It's like one of my pet things, Brutal honesty being the way forward for an SMC, right?
Really? Coming from the Commonwealth, where that's the center of that stuff?
You mean coming from the heart chakra of the world? Shut up. Right, so yeah, how's everybody? You guys all right?
I'm sort of all right. When you turn on the camera and you see what I'm contending with. Both of the cats trying to be on me at once.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I've actually been away for a couple of days, so my friend is all super desperate and needy, and he's eating like 3 pouches of food, half a box of biscuits in like look, a couple of minutes since I got here, and yeah. So yeah, cats great. Cats are great all round. Yay, love cats.
So where'd you go, Ed?
Oh, I was staying at Sarah's, but now I'm back at the shack. Yeah. I like the shack.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
You got any more information about Three Eye Atlas, Ed?
No, dude, like literally it was only the couple of questions that Fred asked in the challenge back right when we started doing it, and that one little remote viewing session that we did. I haven't really kind of done anything else. But yeah, all very fun experiences. I enjoyed them.
Well, they have a 3-eye atlas thing in this particular session, so.
Yeah, I think didn't we skim over it last week as well?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, it basically ties in exactly with kind of what we were saying and what they said in the channeling the Sunday before. Because I asked them about like do they communicate between all the different channeling groups? Yeah. Because I wasn't sure whether like kind of they give us like all little tiny bits of the story each. Do you know what I mean? So you'll get one story, but seen from different like perspectives. That's what it seemed to like to me. And they kind of confirmed that was it. But we're all kind of linked at a subconscious level, so we'll get the same story. We just get different viewpoints on it. So if you start adding up all the different channelings that they've done about Free Atlas, then it all fits kind of perfectly with ours. It all kind of like we've all got different bits of the same story. It's yeah, it's really cool, I think. Oh, you can't miss me, didn't you, mate? Oh, he's a very needy kitten.
How old is he?
Well, I'm not 100% certain. I think he was like 4 when I got him. And I've had him like 4 or 5 years, so 9, 10ish. He's still a good age for a cat. He's still a good boy. Yes, he is.
Well, I mean, if you guys want, we can start one.
Yeah, keep reading. Come on, Andrii can catch up. If not, Robo, I'll explain it to him after. It's cool. It's all good.
Oh, you guys couldn't hear me.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question.
We were about to go rogue.
You were about to go rogue. Yeah,
No,
that's
just in
funny.
time, man. Just in time. We're just about to fucking just mutiny on the deck.
No, I heard you guys were talking about the cat, and I was like, yeah, that is a good age. And then you guys were
He's a
talking
good
about
boy.
starting a new question, and I had it rolled up, Okay.
Man, everything's always perfect, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have a question. Can you expound more on what it means and how do you turn the other cheek? Seems so important in our life to learn this practice, but so incredibly hard to do so.
Especially if you're literally turning the other cheek. All right.
I saw a really great video on that where there was a guy who slapped a pastor on a plane like really hard.
Oh.
And the pastor turned to him and said, "You know what, man? God loves you and God will always love you no matter what." And the guy started crying and like bawling in the pastor's arms. And then the pastor was just like praying over him and blessing him and stuff. It was pretty intense. All right. So go on, Bill.
I am cool and am aware of your query, my sister. Again, we move to the area of seeing the necessity and the blessing of turning the other cheek. so that you may feel more of the difficulty that is around you as a means by which you can grow more because of that difficulty. There are many layers of difficulties which will require that you be able to turn the other cheek, open the heart and love, see the larger view, move out in your mind to the level of, say, the moon or the sun, and see the tiny earth spinning on its axis through space and time, knowing that earth, Mother Earth, has a population of beings that are all facing the same situation. Yet most are not aware that there is the need to turn the other cheek. Well, they call it a need. Most simply exist in a way of accepting or not accepting, and then getting angry or feeling loving and not knowing exactly what is happening within their life. For they are not awake, as are you, to the nature of this third density illusion that give catalysts so that we may turn the other cheek and at the same time metaphorically open our hearts and love and light for whatever has caused the turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
At least they call it a difficulty.
Not an easily or yeah.
Yeah.
Just the way things are.
At
Okay.
least they give us that much, huh?
All right. Turning the other cheek. Ku describes turning the other cheek as a conscious spiritual practice for meeting difficulty as catalyst for growth. The practice involves opening the heart in love, widening perspective beyond the immediate personal situation, and recognizing shared human struggle on a planetary scale. Many remain unaware of this third density dynamic and react through acceptance, rejection, anger, or affection without clear understanding. The awakened seeker learns to respond to turmoil by keeping the heart open and offering love and light to what has triggered pain or conflict. Key points for seekers with quotes. Turning the other cheek meets difficulty as catalyst. The practice reframes hardship as material for growth. Seeing the necessity and the blessing of turning the other cheek as a means by which you can grow more because of that difficulty. It is a layered discipline renewed often. Many kinds of challenge invite this response. There are many layers of difficulties which will require that you be able to turn the other cheek. The inner action is heart opening. The core movement is an open heart rather than defense or retaliation. Turn the other cheek, open the heart in love. Perspective is part of the method. Step back mentally into a larger view to soften reactivity and restore clarity. See the larger view, move out in your mind to the level of the moon or the sun. Remember the shared human condition. A planetary perspective supports compassion and steadiness. See the tiny earth, knowing that has a population of beings that are all facing the same situation. Many react without awareness of the catalyst dynamic. Sleepwalking through catalyst leads to confusion, confusing emotional swings. Most simply exist, accepting or not accepting, and then getting angry or feeling loving and not knowing exactly what is happening. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I can see that happening to some people for sure, and they're so confused by it too.
And that's why we got to up our compassion.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Gotta have compassion for that because it must be hard being there.
Well, you're like trapped
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Well, they are, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
and it
they don't think they are, but
well, yeah, or they choose to. I mean, some of these people they know there's another way, but they just choose not to follow it.
and a lot of times people just think right here and now is the only reality,
Mm-hmm.
is the only
Yep.
thing that's real.
Yeah. Yeah. Awakening clarifies why the practice matters. I think that part of the issue is that some people just have trouble, grasping or accepting that, just forgiving, loving, and being kind to everyone is the way. They're just like, no, there must be room for fear, anger, and control, or and then so then they oscillate between the two. And
Unconditional love.
Hmm?
It's unconditional love.
Exactly. Unconditional love. But like, in order to really have inner peace, you have to rest in that unconditional love.
And Andrii, and those people that think like that, they're right, and we got to accept it.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying
they're
that
right for themselves.
for themselves, they're right. And they're having their own experience, and I didn't choose that experience for myself, but I have compassion because I know, I can see how painful it is for them.
And then we got to look at ourselves and say, we don't really have any business getting involved in their business unless they won't ask us.
Yeah, fair enough. Awakening clarifies why the practice matters. The veil of third density produces catalyst, so the seeker can choose this response. Awake to the nature of this third density illusion that give catalyst so that we may turn the other cheek. Offer love and light toward the trigger. The practice includes blessing what caused turmoil as a deliberate inner stance. Metaphorically, open our hearts in love and light for whatever has caused the turmoil. And that's just such a beautiful process.
It's difficult too. I mean,
It can be.
You're not only accepting the difficulty, you're moving into loving it. Or putting love into it.
That's kind of what I mean, is moving past the catalyst that you're having to experience with this person, and moving it past it so far that you can just turn around and send them love and light. And additional love.
Yeah.
That can be very difficult sometimes.
And it takes practice. It takes practice to just be like, yep, you know what? This time I'm going to turn it around and give them love too. And this time, and that time, and the next time, and that time that I didn't do it, I'm going to imagine doing it next time, and just again and again, turning in towards love, turning towards kindness, turning towards peace, turning towards that we are all one, having compassion for each other.
And just to, I wanted to point to a couple things. Just because we're supposed to, what you're saying is basically find the love in the moment. That doesn't necessarily mean that we are to become martyrs or allow others to cross boundaries without some sort of consequence. Sometimes when people get very distorted, that's immediately what is approached is a boundary, and usually physical assault is a boundary. So when you start to get to a point where, and it doesn't have to be physical martyrdom. I mean, you could be talking about the martyrdom of the self, as in you're disowning your own morals in order to placate the scenario or situation. That becomes a little bit of a dicey game where you are trying to determine, okay, is it worth me just being kind and loving and compassion for what I'm experiencing? Or is this crossing a boundary so far where I have to respond differently? And finding love in all of that on a moment's notice can be quite, for lack of a better term, stressful. I want to make sure that everybody knows that this is not, it's not necessarily always black and white, and it's a lot of times very difficult to make the decisions to choose love or to turn the other cheek, as what is described.
Yeah, everyone's got to make their own choice, and what is comfortable, what they're comfortable with, and what they feel is of best service to the situation. Because yeah, for sure, sometimes to be compassionate to all of creation means setting boundaries for a part of creation, so it doesn't infringe on another aspect of creation.
Well, and also if you're martyring yourself, even in a not necessarily in a physical way, but if you are spiritually or energetically martyring yourself, that part that you martyr is not then available for service to others in the rest of the capacity of your beingness.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That is a serious thing to weigh in when you are choosing to turn the other cheek as your response.
Yeah.
But saying that, you have the choice to take it or not. And
Yep.
The thing, if you decide to take it, you can't let it affect the way you love yourself. And because what happens if you take it in the wrong way, then you'll start to close your heart, and you'll start to armor up to everybody else. And so if you can take it, but remember, you got to whatever you do, whatever circumstances you're in, you need to balance it by not affecting it how you love yourself. I mean, literally, because a lot of people get
one of I agree with you, Bill. And one of the tools that I've used to help me with that is to constantly remind yourself, no matter what's happening, even if someone is like attacking you physically, you have to have the mindset to remind yourself, this is not personal. No matter what, it's frequency, energy, and vibration playing out. There's a balancing act occurring. If there's an extreme high pressure cell in the middle of nowhere, it has to equalize. So you're just watching it equalize, and it's not personal, even if it seems like it. And that's hard to do when you're getting, attacked certain ways.
Hey, Ashley. How are you doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing well.
Great. Are you able to read tonight?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Let me read the answer to this one, and then she can read the next one.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to say one more thing on the turning the other cheek is that so turning the other cheek, it's about forgiveness, love, and kindness. But also Jesus said that if they reject you, then dust off your feet and be on your way. So don't stick around where you're hated. Move on.
The way I interpret that is exactly what I said, is don't let it affect how it makes you feel about yourself.
Yeah, it's just not a service that they're interested in at this time, and that's fine. All right, go ahead, Bill.
Oh, when are you going to read the question first?
You're going to read the question.
Oh, I thought you were going to read it, and I was going to read the answer.
Oh, then Ashley's going to read the answer.
Oh, okay. I thought I said she'll read the next one.
Oh,
Yeah,
you wanted to read this one.
Read the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to read the answer. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll read the question. You read this. Okay, she'll read the next one. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question, Kuo. I was wondering if there is any spiritual significance to the Hawking radiation that a black hole emits as it decays over time, and if that Hawking radiation is connected to the creation of the Akashic records.
I am Kuo and am aware of the query, my brother. We can respond somewhat to this query, for there are mysteries embedded with these natural laws that have been discovered by some of your scientists that are intended by their very manifestation to offer hints to beings such as yourself as to the true nature of reality, both in its physical manifestation, as you have identified with the so called Hawking radiation, and the metaphysical significance. We cannot offer a full explanation of the significance of this energy that has been detected coming from the black holes that you recognize, but we can affirm that there is an aspect related to what you have identified, the Akashic record or the records of creation. We would also point a hint towards the nature of the octaves of creation and their manifestation and conclusion feeding into each other, where the black hole signifies in many ways with your space time reality a conclusion point, a totality, or what you as a species have identified as an event horizon. And yet, the mystery of the ability of this radiation to seemingly escape from that conclusion and turn backwards into the creation, which is concluding is indeed a great hint to the nature of this ongoing process of evolution of the octaves. It is not simply a straightforward one direction of evolution, but rather there are ways in which the process and progress of evolution influence not just that which comes after, but that which came before. And within this seeming paradox and mystery lies hints as to the nature of the simultaneous and eternal aspect of reality, the eternal now, which is available to you at any moment. The ability of this radiation, as you identified it, to exist as it does is seemingly paradoxical in a seemingly paradoxical way, offers a hint to the true paradox of this process of evolution.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
have a
Okay. So, what did you guys think? Ed, you probably have a bunch to say on this, right? Oh, Ed might have been
What was
distracted.
it? What was it about? Sorry, I missed it. What was you
Hawking
talking about?
radiation.
Oh yeah. This is all about the fucking like the thing reordering itself. It's about this. It's about the tourist point of view. I'll chat about it in a sec. I'll fucking do this one.
Okay, all right. So, Ku responds to a question linking Hawking radiation with spiritual meaning in the Akashic records. While a complete explanation remains beyond disclosure, Ku affirms a meaningful correspondence between physical discoveries and metaphysical structure. Black holes represent a point of conclusion within an octave of creation, yet the emergence of Hawking radiation hints that endings feed back into creation itself. This paradox points towards the eternal and simultaneous nature of reality, where past, present, and future remain accessible within the eternal now. Physical laws carry metaphysical hints. Scientific discoveries offer symbolic insights into deeper reality. These natural laws are intended to offer hints as to the true nature of reality. Hawking radiation has metaphysical relevance. Its existence relates to what is known as the Akashic record. We can affirm that there's an aspect related to what you have identified as the Akashic record. Black holes signify completion within the octave. Ending feeds back into creation. Evolution moves in more than one direction. It's not simply a straightforward one direction of evolution. I think this is the more interesting part. One cycle of creation feeds the next in a continuous process, the octaves of creation in their manifestation and conclusion feeding into each other. The paradox reveals the eternal now. within this seeming paradox lies hints as to the nature of the simultaneous and eternal aspects of reality. The eternal now is available to you at any moment. And so what I really liked here, one direction to do here, that which comes after, but that which came before. One direction, okay. Simultaneously eternal, that which is available. The ability of this radiation. Oh well, it was basically of the future affecting the past. That's kind of.
And what that tells me is that the creator is experiencing all this, and so next time there's the next octave or whatever it is, it takes all the octave from the past that he's experienced, and then it kind of advance it into the next one, and so it's always kind of feeding a loop to get more and more experience and to experience itself more and more infinitely.
Mm-hmm. This is the sentence that resonated. It is not simply a straightforward one direction of evolution, but rather there are ways in which the process and progress of evolution influence not just that which comes after, but that which came before.
Yeah. I wonder how it would influence it, how it would influence that which came before.
Well, like Latwis from the future, right? And is talking to us in a form of past.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So and same thing for Bashar, right? Bashar is also from the future. And the Pleiadians. I mean, even the gray aliens are from the future.
Well, aren't the Pleiadians from the past, though?
No, the Pleiadians are from the future. Apparently, well, like they kind of basically they're from a far future that went to a far past. There's a subset of the Pleiadians. Fred, go ahead.
I just had a unique perspective on the eternal now moment that we talk about a lot. It seems to me that since we know time isn't really real the way we conceptualize it, it seems to me that since everything is energy, frequency, vibration, if you can imagine time like as a timeline, as a wave, where the peak of it is when we have perceptibility in third density, and the rest of that wave is outside of third density, meaning not fourth density or second density, but as in time space, where only when we get to the tip of that energy peak, we're experiencing the now moment, because we're more physical than we are time oriented in third density. Once you go to higher densities, you're more time oriented than physical. So it seems like there's this extreme parabolic wave that peaks and then comes right back down, where the peak is at third density, where we're experiencing this concept idea of linear time. The rest of that wave is going to have, as it opens up further and further down to the bottom of that wave cycle, you're seeing more and more clearly what it actually is in experiencing it as not linear time. But at the same time, no pun intended, you're not able to physically maneuver the same way as you are at the peak. That's how I visualize it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Crickets.
You lost me a little bit at the portion right before the peak.
What's that again?
You lost me a little bit at the portion right before the peak.
Oh, you mean conceptualizing it as a wave?
Yeah, and There was something about that.
thinking of the bottom as ultimate time space experience and the peak as ultimate space time experience. The
Okay.
only point where it's actually experienced completely physically is in our third density while we're incarnate on Earth. And it's only that point. So everything that we experience, whether it's first, second, third density, in our third density experience is what's allowing us to see time that way, because of the way everything is just energetically played out. Everything else at the bottom is when we're disincarnate or pre-incarnate.
Okay. Thank you.
My brain makes weird visual graphs that I have really hard time sometimes explaining.
Hey,
Can you
Andrii,
actually put it into a picture on paper?
That would be nice.
I got the question.
Okay, sure.
So is Lotwi and the other Palladians, are they from a different octave, or they're just
They're not from a different octave.
because
They're
that's
just
what,
from the future.
yeah, because that's what this kind of when you're blowing energy back and forth from a black hole.
They're fourth density. They are
To me-
fourth density though.
Yeah, but when they're doing
Not
what
Lotwi.
they've said,
Well,
that,
yeah, Lotwi's fifth density. Yeah, you're right.
but to
What
me,
passage does it say that Latvi is from the future? Well, and what do they mean by future? Like, because we have our perception of, well, I would figure that at that point they're not really bound to a linear concept of time. So I guess, yeah, technically they are in the future, but they could also say they're in the past, because at fifth density they're no longer even really having densified bodies. So I don't know, that's kind of weird.
For some reason, I always thought that the Pleiadians were from the octave previous to us, and that they came through after they completed it.
That could be, that makes sense in the sense that they are our progenitors, like we are their descendants in many respects. But as far as them coming from another octave, that would tie to their progenitors, which are the Lyrans, which are also us, who did come in from a whole other logoic system / universe. But you could say octave, because it was nothing like this octave, this universe, or this template. So it's kind of that cascade from the Lyrans were the ones who did it, but then, they are Pleiadians stepping down, and then we're related. So in that way, I can see that's a
but if
valid statement.
if it's a different logos, then that just could mean it's a different galaxy, not necessarily a whole nother universe.
From the channelings I've seen over the years from different individuals who don't know each other, separated by decades, it's been said that they did not come from this, like, from this sphere of reality at all. Like, they came in from outside. I guess you could say that it's another universe within our logoic template, but that's not what it seems like. It seems like.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Andrii. Sorry.
Here, I'm just getting a more full quote here for the context. You contain memory of past and future, yet these memories. The identity, insofar as we are aware and we wish to express that we are not infallible, is that of a future self. Is a self that is entirely yourself. To the present. I'm not like. Basically, I haven't found the exact quote, but I
That's
remember,
okay.
like, I distinctly remember they said something like that we are like our perspective of you, like communicating with you, is in a form of past, but I couldn't find that exact quote, like a form of past.
Well,
So
can't
it
that
must have
mean
been.
they're in a higher density and they're looking at us as what they went through in the past?
It could be. It
Yeah.
could be in that sense as well. Yes. But everything is always in the present anyways.
Right. That's
So
why I said technically, yeah, they're in our future, but technically they're in our past. And
yes.
they're definitely in the present. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
So I mean ultimately it doesn't matter, but yeah. I know, like for instance, the Dolores Cannon material definitely says that one of the timelines where humans like go underground, they turn into gray aliens, and they want to come back to the past, both to try to, because basically what happened is that they felt they didn't understand the whole density business or polarizing business, and they thought the problem was people having emotions, and so they just genetically modified people to not have emotions. And then everything became very dull, and they got very weak bodies, and so they were very intensely interested in the past to them of trying to remediate both their timeline and be like, don't go here. Don't go to this timeline where we voluntarily castrate our own emotions or whatever. um And
Well,
so, whereas another future timeline is the Palladians, or kind of like the food forest dwelling New Age Sylvan timeline people, and they stay on the surface and they polarize service to others and things like that. And then Corey Good's material says that basically they were in some far future, and they were seeing there was some trouble with like their timeline, like because the earth was getting like too dark around this point, and so they sent a colony of themselves to the past to be the Anshar, and they would live underground, and they have these kind of meditation centers where they kind of meditate at people on the surface to try to bring them in alignment with that New Age Sylvan timeline.
Corey Good has said he's made up everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I know that. But I also believe that there are limits to conceivability.
Okay. Hey, the only thing I can say about the Hawking's radiation, I thought it was talking about coming in and out of black holes. And once you're going in and out of black holes, it's my understanding you're kind of going in and out of one octave to the other.
When you're going in and out of black holes.
I believe that.
Well, I think that it's somewhat more nuanced than that. Here,
How so?
well, because it's not necessarily a density thing. Here, I don't know if we can get a picture of it, but basically there's the event horizon, and basically if you fall into kind of the event horizon of the black hole,
You get sucked into the black hole.
well, it kind of like yeah, you get sucked into the black hole. But I remember, I don't know, like from my kind of soul memories or something,
Okay.
of watching a procession of souls entering a black hole, and they were just kind of waiting, because like time is really weird near the edge of a black hole, and so they were just kind of like on this trajectory to go in. I decided not to, but they were like had their bags packed and felt like they were going into a new place. And so from my perspective, what it is. So, say for instance, you have the sun, which is kind of the sub logos of our solar system, and what it's doing is it's managing in its own way everything that's happening in our solar system, but it's also communicating to the other stars that are in our galaxy and in our universe. And now at some point when like a star gains like so much wisdom that it just turns inward on itself and it becomes a black hole. And so it has its own inner reality and its own kind of inner universe of that it has on the inside of itself, if you know what I mean. So it creates kind of its own universe within it, if that makes sense. It's kind of a reflection of everything that it learned because, yeah, especially those quasars and central, there's a big black hole at the center of the galaxy, at the center of most galaxies.
Yeah, there's supposed to be several.
Yeah, sometimes there's several, but sometimes they merge. Hmm. Ultimately, we can never be certain. But that's a vision that I had of a black hole and what it is to be a black hole, and it is to have your own universe, basically. And so they just suck in everything from the outside and then use it to elaborate on their own inner world. All right. So, anyways, let us continue. So Ashley was going to read the answer here, right? Yes, Kuo. I have a question regarding the structure we on Earth are calling 3i Atlas and its approach and closeness to Earth, and whether that is in alignment with or has anything to do with what we are also hearing as the fifth dimension that Gaia, Mother Earth, is moving towards.
I am Ko, and I'm aware of the query, my sister. As we examine the cultural discourse, you may say, around the so-called object that you have identified as 3i Atlas, we have found that there is much confusion and much speculation and much mystery. The amount of focus and attention placed upon this object somewhat limits our ability to speak about it clearly, for we, the Confederation of Planets, in service to the one infinite Creator, are able to interface and offer our perspective only insofar as it does not violate your own sovereign free will. As you, as a planetary population, speculate and find meaning within the mystery and seeming anomalous aspect of this object, and the ways in which it is presenting itself that are new and unusual, even for those among your population that do not pay attention to things like our craft that show within your skies, is intended to be a catalyst, is intended to push your planetary population's imagination and desire to know more about the universe in a certain way. This object indeed does have some significance, you can say, in this planet's trajectory and evolution. There are no mistakes, you may say. This particular object has a unique type of beingness and manifestation that can be difficult for us to describe, but we ask you to imagine that the intelligence of the one infinite Creator can manifest in many, many ways in an infinite amount of aspects of intelligence that seek to express themselves in unique and interesting ways. As you, as a planet, observe this object more and more, you may observe it also changing in its behavior. And there can be correlations, you might say, to these changes and the observations that you as a planet make The connection between this object and the evolution of your planet, then, rests in this mirror effect, the way in which this object expresses itself to you as a planet. There is more that could be said about the meaning and significance of this object in relationship to your planet's evolution, but we are afraid that this is for you as a planetary population to discover. Is there a follow-up to this question, my sister?
No, thank you. All right, thank you for reading.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Ed wanted to jump in here. He was very, very excited about it last time. Okay.
Well,
Go ahead, Ray.
the only thing I would say, he was kind of on fire about this last week.
Okay.
And a lot of the stuff that he said was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He said it very fast, though, so it's kind of hard to keep up with him sometimes.
Fair enough.
But, something that was really fascinating about it was I think we kind of came to a conclusion that the Three-Eye Atlas has, or it did have, a living, like, crew, I guess you could call it a crew, and that they're now dead, but that it might be possible that if we were ever able to, like, board it or something like that, get skins on it. I don't know how we would do that, but that we would discover that it's kind of a warning that they took a certain path, kind of similar to what the Greys did, except I'm losing it. Sorry.
That's okay. Last week we were bringing up the transdimensional mapping session that Birdie did of Three-Eye Atlas, and it was super involved, and it revealed, well, first it confirmed some things we came up with our remote viewing session about it, 2 days before she posted the YouTube of her session, which was more in depth, but it revealed that a holographic living compendium of information and technology had modified Three-Eye Atlas, and in that technology placed on it by those beings was their history and their memories of their world. And it was sort of like a message in a bottle. And yes, as Ray was saying, one of the parts of that holographic ball of information was to share how they took the transhumanist route, being positive, and they whittled out using technology and pseudo biological modifications to take away their STS distortions and to remove all kinds of things that would cause a separation. But at some point, their physical vehicles became incapable of reproduction and they stagnated. And I'm sure that had an effect on them collectively, like their psyche. And eventually they decided to collectively not try to save themselves, but to terminate their physical incarnation. But they wanted to be remembered, and that was the message. Just remember us. They wanted to live on in the hearts of whoever would find them. And I don't think it was a coincidence that they came to us so we could see that, yes, there is a route that you can take that combines technology. And with the way Earth is now, we've got, the biological, nano modifications, Neuralink, AI, all of these enhancements that could take us to a higher level, but they're showing that it's not the way. We want you to do something else and also remember us. So that's kind of the track that we got on. Um, and they recently found that as Three Eye Atlas is now headed towards Jupiter, they discovered that within it they have found like materials that are key to DNA formation in humans, which is very interesting that there's an overwhelming amount of DNA forming components belonging to humans found on its surface as it's heading to Jupiter. And we know that Jupiter is kind of has been locked in first density. So I had this crazy thought, well, what if it's seeding a new species like humans by visiting Jupiter and unlocking it from first density? But that's a sidebar. The point is that what Quo is saying is that Three Eye Atlas, Three Eye Atlas is like a mirror. It's a mirror for our consciousness to explore, to see what's possible. And they also said something about Three Eye Atlas affecting and being pivotal to Earth's. They said your planet's evolution. So there's something Three Eye Atlas has been doing to Gaia itself, which I thought is fascinating because everyone's just been focusing on what does it do to humans? What is it doing to our consciousness? But keep in mind, as it's leaving our vicinity, it's visiting every planet. Now it's headed to Jupiter. So it seems like it's also activating the planets themselves, which is wild. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Well, I have a follow-up question for you on that. Do you think that as far as remote viewing goes, that we are still in practice of that as far as our government goes?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So then
That's
they would be getting the same information that you're talking about then.
Yeah, they just wouldn't tell us because then it will inspire seeking and the expansion of consciousness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Well,
they've been remote viewing since the 60s.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that
I know
when
they
you
used to
were
do it. I just didn't know if they still were doing it. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anytime they tell us they're not doing anything else, like
They're doing it.
like the Mind, MK Ultra, they got 30 different programs and different names for it.
when Ashley was beginning her story there, it reminded me of a channeling that I heard or saw about another group. I think within, I don't know if they're part of the Confederation, but yeah, they're a Service to Others group, not too far from us. But they chose the, basically they were saying that they were cooperating or like working with the Andromedans,
Mhm.
and but then their population got some kind of and then there was they got some technology for technological host bodies, and then their biological host bodies all got some terrible disease where all of their biological bodies were dying, and so they decided to migrate the entire population into technological bodies. And they were some kind of analog robots. um and so it just, like, at least the beginning of your stories, it really reminded me of these people, and so I'm wondering if it might be the same ones. But
Well,
yeah,
that's the Ray Kurzweil effect. If you heard of that guy, he's been wanting
Ray
to.
Kurzweil, yeah.
Yeah, he's been wanting to download his consciousness into a computer for decades.
Yeah, it just, our technology is nowhere near the technology that would allow that to happen, at least right now.
Well,
um
they made that one movie called Chappie. If you ever saw that.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie. That was the funny one, right?
It was silly, but it was
was
serious.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was out of that trio of films that included Elysium and
Hmm.
the other one where the guy turned into the alien.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, there have been, I think that in that channeling they were saying only like 5% of people, social memory complexes, decide 5 to 15 go on the transhuman route, and they do not foresee, or like, or maybe they were saying that there's a very low probability that Earth will go that route, at least in the near term.
Well, we kind of got a similar story with uh, people turning into dolphins and whales out of Atlantis
Oh yeah, that's true.
that didn't want to
Yeah.
use their thumbs or didn't
Right.
want to be in positions to make weapons or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They saw the way things were going.
Yeah, so we might quite possibly have more of a hybrid population, and I do know that in the mass dreams of the future, there were a very small number, but it was notable enough that a few people, their future lives, they reincarnated as robots. Yeah.
How's that
Mm.
even possible?
Well, like one of them was called like Lazarus A500 or A5000 or something.
Wow.
And he was a special robot that was designed to be a leader, like a politician, and he lived in an underground city with like crystals, and so his whole life was about being a good mayor, basically, of his people. And then, you know, that was kind of his life. From what I remember, I don't remember the exact quote. I might be able to find it somewhere. Um, but yeah, documents. Oh, here would be.
Well, they didn't give a whole lot of information about Three Eye Atlas in that last. Um,
They didn't give a whole lot, eh?
Because there's
I mean,
too much, like, as they said, everyone is feeling too strongly about it. Um, there's too much
Right.
information and speculation buzzing around. So it's so charged for us that they know if they say anything too concrete, it could skew us to go in a direction, one or the other. And they're very terrified, I guess, after seeing what happened with Ra, to turn us one way or the other as far as giving information like that.
Yeah, they don't want to affect our spiritual evolution.
Yeah,
That's
they.
anytime they put up boundaries like that, that's what it's always for.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I still don't completely follow why Ra thinks that it has done that to us. I mean, I think that right now it's a story.
Because when the priests took over, they just kind of were kind of tyrants about it.
Well, yeah, they just completely went back to worshiping the multiple gods.
Well, and controlling other people.
Yeah, no longer perpetuating the idea that you could reach God or the source of all that is through your own beingness. Like they took that knowledge of self-exploration and the divine being within you and love being central and all things being one. They took that away and introduced separation from the divine, separation from other selves, separation from nature, love of materialism. It was like a densifying and detachment from every. It was the antithesis of everything that Ra came to teach. And then in some cases, like with Quetzalcoatl in South America, because there were other SMCs that came different parts of the world. They even distorted the teachings there, and instead of like the sacrifice of the self in order to kind of take up the cross of evolving consciousness and serving, they took it as, oh, we need to do blood sacrifices, sacrifice the flesh. And so that's another distortion. So on the one hand, they meant well, but because it wasn't, they were naive, as they said, they didn't know how we were going to distort it, the humans of that time. It created a lot of unnecessary stagnation to our evolutionary process. It sent us back.
And I think the big one actually is kind of, you started to allude to it, is when it's like what they do with religion these days. You know, you're not going to go to heaven, you're not going to be saved unless you go through us.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's the external versus the internal.
Yeah.
And I still get that all the time with Christians. You know, I try to be nice with. It's mind blowing to me.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that just from their simple attempt at serving, and
Right.
them not really understanding how humanity worked, thinking that we were like them and we would just get it and we wouldn't go this route. We also had, of course, Orion messing things up and deceiving. So yeah, they set us back several and thousands of years as far as evolution.
And like they say, the first and second harvest, they didn't have anybody harvest first one, and they had like what, 150 people the second one.
Yeah, out of millions and
Yeah. So
humans, only 100. That's yeah. They dropped the ball. So I understand how weary they are.
well,
But
I liked how the Confederation said when they talked about that, we became concerned.
oh,
They crack me up
oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
Well, I
They're
mean,
very funny.
with as long ago as that was, I mean, didn't Ra not didn't have anything to do with it yet, did they?
No, they had everything to do with it.
That was Atlantis. That was Egypt.
No, I'm talking about from 50,000 years ago, where there was only 150.
Yeah. Yeah. 25,000 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I mean,
No, that
okay.
that was kind of but before that, the very first time you had Yahweh messing with the genetics of Mars and
Yeah,
mixing it with the great ape, so they
yeah,
kind of screwed, the Confederation. That was Inner Planes, but that was still Confederation.
right. And then that's when the quarantine had to be
Right.
enacted. So there were other stages. It's not just Raw. We bring them up because we got the Raw contact, their attempt to make
Well,
amends and
that's
resolve.
why,
But
yeah, that's why Ross started to intervene, because they're trying to backtrack all this other stuff.
right,
And Rob, of course, is from the solar system, and they saw Maldek go and then Mars go, and they didn't get any harvest from that.
yeah,
Well, so all right, just
And then
to kind of put a
Atlantis
cap
go.
on it, just to kind of put a cap on what I'm talking about is, um, in Egypt before Ra got involved. Let's say Ra never got involved. They were already doing these things, weren't they? Where
what
they were already doing this, where they were worshiping multiple gods, and
Well, yeah.
so
there was a there's early Egypt where they began to worship. They were worshiping the sun primarily. Um, they everything that they were doing was around uh, the idea of a solar singular deity connecting all, and it was this distortion that attracted Ra and made them feel that they were ready for them to come among them and disseminate the law of one. Now, I know we have our history of it, the last 3,000 years or a couple thousand years, but I would say this was even really before that. Like, there was a period of time where they almost operated as like a solar cult, where it was just the focus on the sun body and on the aspects of the sun, on worshiping the sun based rituals. Those distortions is what attracted Ra. I don't think that it was to the level where they were doing all of these various practices with all of the deities, Ra, Isis, Horus, Osiris. I don't think they were in that age yet. This would be earlier than that age in Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think kind of what you're talking about, Ray, I would say definitely some people had propensities to, go, and then the Orion group came in and really exploited it by creating, elite groups.
I found it, guys. I found it after much searching. Okay, another high-tech subject compared his future life to that of a conscious, intelligent machine, seemingly androgynous. Even his name, Synchnotron 2, was mechanical sounding. Everything in his emotionally cold, futuristic city was built along rigid geometric lines with no superfluous architecture. It was cold and barren outside with very little vegetation. Food consisted of computer-dispensed powdery nutrients and was eaten in communal dining areas. Apparently, a politician, Synchnotron 2, stated that his purpose in that life was to learn to deal with leading crowds. The evening before an election, he saw himself giving an impassioned, persuasive speech to a large group of fellow citizens. At another point, he found himself part of a city delegation establishing contact with higher-level, non-earthly civilization. Nonetheless, when he finally chose to die at the advanced age of 100, he retained a frustrating feeling of wanting to do more in that life. He felt he was going on to new tasks in future incarnations after death. So, there you go.
Wow. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And so, they might have contact with the Confederation, they said, because it was like higher level non earthly civilization. Mm-hmm. And this was supposedly on Earth, I believe.
Yeah, Earth has a lot of untold histories, eras, ages, sagas that we probably will not know about until we reach fourth density proper, so we can explore. And Quo's alluded to this several times, that what we currently know in all our books and what's revealed, it's only about maybe 2% of all of the things that Earth has experienced. We know that it's like Earth is very old, and we've had several signs that humans and other beings were here way before the established timelines that they tell us. I mean, we talk about Mesopotamia and so on, and this started here and there, but there are civilizations even before that, older than Egypt, older than Greece, things that were there that have no name, whose structures we haven't found yet because they're buried so deep, or they're in the inner planes, like between dimensions. So a lot of times when they talk to us about certain things, we do have to keep in mind that they may be speaking of an age in that land that we have no current record of.
And Ross talked about, people in the inner earth too, in the
Right?
crust of the earth.
That's a whole other thing.
And with what little we do know, I think we've had a lot of, like the Jesuits and some of these occultist groups completely take out the history that they knew about, like all that Tartantia stuff.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Like I'm
Yeah,
surprised that one even came out. They even let that one out of the bag.
yeah.
It's yeah. So like cuz there's some other, it's not just Egypt, but I think the Phoenicians or some other civilization, they also had a kind of sun cult. Like they worshipped a solar feminine goddess, and they did other rituals around the sun. And I've seen this in Japan too, with a solar deity being central, Amaterasu, and then Egypt. And so I'm wondering if at this time Ra was viewing that, yes, they honed in on Egypt and they mentioned the solar focus, the solar consciousness that drew them in. It makes me wonder, what age was this where several civilizations across the world were viewing and worshiping the sun? Like, we don't have too much about that age at all, just snippets. Like, that's just one example.
Oh, hey guys, it's past 9:00.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. No, it's fine. I got really captivated. I was just seeing if we had a time for another question, but I guess we don't.
Well, the next question we got is right after the AI Atlas question, so we can keep track of that.
All right, cool. Yeah, I have to. So this is what ChatGPT believes Synchrotron 2 looks like. If you guys want to see.
Okay. It's giving a very, it's like robot plus iRobot mixed together.
Well, all right. So, as I found you, I leave you in the infinite love and infinite light of the infinite creator within you and all around you, my friends. Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in that infinite power and infinite peace. Adonai Vasubaragos.
Adonai.
Vasubaragos.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Andrii.